And welcome to the Sacred Heart Music Center in Duluth, Minnesota for the latest installment of Live from the Heart, Songwriters, Storytellers Series. My name is Erin Aldridge, and I'll be your host for this evening. Tonight's live stream is supported by the Minnesota State Arts Board and highlights the finest music talent in the Northland. This monthly series features local songwriters, their creative process, and some stories behind their work. Tonight's guest is Heidi Feroe from Babie Eyes. Babie Eyes was founded when Duluth singer, songwriter, and visual artist Heidi Feroe began assembling local musicians to record some of her newly written songs. Feroe had begun a spiritual awakening of sorts and felt compelled to share her songs like Gratitude and Feel All Right with the local music community. Her philosophy of renewal is reflected in the name of the band and the new record, See the World Through Babie Eyes. She began rehearsing her songs with Hobo Nephews, singer-songwriter, guitarist, and bassist Ian Alexi, and the inventive drummer Curtis Bellows. The raw and melodic sounds of the initial lineup drew comparisons by local music fans to Mazzy Star and the Velvet Underground. The sound of the band was soon rounded out with experimental musician Kenny Bressler on synthesizers and Jacob Mahone of the New Salty Dog on keyboards, guitar, and vocals. The minimalism of the three-piece lineup was expanded, and the band started drawing comparisons to larger ensembles like Fleetwood Mac and Talking Heads. In 1 year, Babie Eyes have created a loyal, local fan base and a catalog of 35 original songs, 12 of which appear on their debut album, See the World Through. Recorded live in the studio by veteran producer Rich Mattson, See the World Through takes the listener on a journey through an alternative universe of memorable psychedelic pop songs. Much like their rehearsals, the record was made with all 5 members playing in a circle and feeding off of their collective energy. I am excited to introduce to you this evening Heidi Feroe.
Thank you for having me. On my side, I stay with me all the time. Thank you. Slow and steady, I regain my balance. Though it's quite a challenge, there's life in me to salvage. Yeah. Each step, each breath, I feel myself changing. Time is rearranging me. Yeah. When I feel myself fall, in spite of it all, myself will not defeat. I know as long as I'm here, I might as well learn to make the most of me. Yeah. Slow and steady, I regain my balance. Though it's quite a challenge, there's life in me to salvage. Each step, each breath, I feel myself changing. Time is rearranging me. Yeah. As above and so below, you will reap the things you sow. Plant your seed and watch it grow. Give it all the love you know, and take the gifts that it bestows. You planted flowers and I'll watch them bloom. You made some paths within the magic woods. You took the time like somebody should. You gave your love to the neighborhood. As above and so below, you will reap the things you sow. Plant your seed and watch it grow, and give it all the love you know. Take the gifts that it bestows. Thank you very much. This is I don't know what you want from me. I try and give you everything Thank you very much.
Get situated while you get situated. It's so awesome to hear you play and sing and hear your music. So I'm wondering if we could just start with what was your background in music? How did you start? How did you evolve? How did you get to where you are now?
Well, I started with a lot of musical theater when I was growing up, and was in choir because I liked it. And then after I didn't graduate from college, I decided I wanted to have a band and be a singer. And so I got into a cover band in town with a bunch of these older dudes, and they were really nice, and it was fun. And then I got a different band called Deep Sea Mushroom Colony for a while, about 10 years ago. You might not have heard about us. Yeah, and then I took a long time off music. Well, I played pretty much in my house. And was kind of isolated for a long time. So, and then I got back into it just recently, over the past year and a half.
And have you always written your own music? Has it been an interest? Is that a later in life thing, or?
Oh yeah, I've always written like poetry, and songs have been in my head, but and I didn't know how to articulate that really when I was younger. I didn't know how to play any instruments, really. I had a guitar, but wasn't really interested, and so until after college. So, yeah.
Interesting. I have a question for you, because it's so interesting to hear somebody accompany themselves on bass versus guitar. Is that something, is it a comfort thing? Is it an intentional thing? Is it a little bit of both?
Both. I just love to play the bass. Since I switched over, I just started playing in the fall. And then I just now come up with a lot of songs on there. And I identify with it much more than the guitar. No offense, guitar. Sometimes I like to play my guitar a lot, but not like the bass.
I think it's such an identifier for you. I mean, it's such a cool sound, and I think it's, for me, now having heard you all, having the joy of hearing you multiple times, like, I hear that and I associate that with your sound in the best possible way. And so I was curious how that evolution happened, because I think it's such a cool thing.
Yeah, I think I kind of started writing songs on the guitar like a bass. Originally, because I was just self-taught, just trying to figure it out, and I tried to take lessons, but it wasn't really working out. And so Ian's a good teacher and taught me a lot of stuff on the guitar, but the bass is just I feel much more connected in.
Yeah, so this leads me to a quick question that's going to lead into a bigger question, and that is, when you're writing music, what do you hear first? And I'm going to ask you about your creative process and how that creative process has now evolved into this really great album that you just recorded. But I'm wondering, what do you hear what do you gravitate when you're starting to write music? Is it the lyrics first? Is it the bass line? Is it the melody?
Melody comes for a lot of them until I started playing the bass, and then I didn't really think of guitar parts at all. It's just been melody, and then when I've been messing around on the guitar or on the bass, it's just it comes naturally. I'll just figure it out, and then the words would come much quickly or more quickly than they would with the guitar. Yeah.
Interesting. So how did that now evolve into this album? What was your creative process behind the album? Was there an overall unifying thread, or was it that songs that kind of found their way?
It's healing. It's my process of what, those songs were what I wrote after I, reached certain conclusions about things which were helpful. And I finally felt like I had something to say with those kind of messages, or that I wanted to put out there. And so,
yeah, healing is definitely what has taken place for me, emotionally and physically with my back. I had like this back problem, and then I've gotten that resolved over the course of the year since we've been in the band, and so it's just like, yeah, that's what I hope these songs represent. Just and all of us are just working to be, better people, and so I think that's what our songs embody. It's just that kind of stuff.
Which I think is makes it that much more, I mean, the songs are great, but to hear sort of the behind the scenes and where it comes from and what they represent is really powerful. So I'm wondering if you could maybe expound a little bit upon a couple of songs specifically and how that process helped you get to those songs.
Sure. Well, we wrote On My Side as a band, the chord progression of that, like one of our first practices together, the 5 of us. And then I was cleaning in Curtis's house like the next day, because that was a job of mine. And I was listening back to it, and the words just came right out for that song. And it just kind of represented how I felt at that time, just the upliftingness of the whole band, and everybody just feeling comfortable with those 4 guys, and and just strong. And then songs like As Above, which I just played, which is not on the album, is about things like garden being planted. I fell in love with a guy who planted this garden out back behind Sammy, behind where we live, and he built this area that I played around with my daughter. She's 4, and so we didn't really have a space in our backyard, and so we'd come, and it would just be nicer every time we'd come and see. And so it just, that's pretty much, but I mean, it's also about all these other things too, but yeah. So everything's inspired from living and lessons, pretty much.
Little bit autobiographical.
Yeah, oh yeah.
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 I think oftentimes makes some of the best,
the
best songs. You've alluded to it a little bit. What is the collaborative process? You write these tunes and then you bring it to your bandmates, and then what is the process from there? How does it form to what we then hear on the album?
Well, if I have a song, I'll just record it on my phone and then send it off to them. And then they've got a general idea, and then I'll play it at practice, and they'll just know what to do. It comes together very naturally like that. And just much more than I'd ever, anticipate. It's it's pretty cool. Those guys are awesome.
Yeah. Is it something that each time it's sort of, every time you play, obviously it's the same tune, but does it evolve in terms of how you're feeling on stage, and how you all are kind of playing together on stage? And
yeah, we play differently every time, for sure. Yeah, it could sound totally different, from one show to the next. But yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, we always have fun. That's the one.
I think that's the most important.
I think so.
Because if you're having fun, then the rest of us are along for the ride and having fun too.
Right.
Well, I think it would be awesome to hear some more of these tunes, if you would.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Sometimes I still cry, watching myself die, when I'm not the woman I needed me to be. There are many things I find I will not see until the moment's gone and all that's left is me. Then the mother and the child within me weep for the promises somehow I could not keep. I forgive myself for all these things. It's only castles burning in my dream. Sometimes I still cry, watching myself die, when I'm not the person I needed me to be. There are many things I find I will not see till the moment's gone and all that's left is me. Then the mother and the child within me weep for the promises somehow I could not keep. I forgive myself for all these things. It's only castles burning in my dream. Who knows what to tell in her little eyes when she cries? I don't know, and it passes by me. Who knows what to tell in her little ears when I go? I let it go. I can't control it. And then, Ian, do you want to come up? Yeah. I forgot I was going to do Feel Alright too. Do you want to do that too? Sure. Okay. Start with that. takes to make you feel alive now. Alright, it's alright, alright, it's alright. One more song for you here from this with Ian. Okay. Feels like I live in a dream. Took me a long time to see. I'm feeling oh so much better now. I wish you could be here with me. Tell me if you like it. Tell me if you like it or not. Tell me if you like it. Tell me if you like it or not. I'm happy like it or not, and that's the way it should be. I did my time in the loneliness, now it's my time to be free. Tell me if you like it, tell me if you like it or not. Tell me if you like it. Tell me if you like it or not.
Thank you.
So once again, really, really great to hear your music. Great to see the collaboration with Ian. What I'm wondering is, what are some of your musical inspirations? Who inspires you? What inspires you in terms of songwriting?
Well, I like the Grateful Dead a lot. I like, I like Bonnie Raitt a lot. I liked her voice. I mean, I just like music that has intention behind it. I like all music, really. I think it's a great form of expression for everybody, no matter what it is. So, yeah. In terms of writing with Ian and the rest of the guys in the band, it's a really cool process that I thought I'd bring up. So we wrote that song together. It usually happens like I'll write verses and then he'll write the chorus or vice versa, but it'll just like happen super naturally. And it's and then sometimes I wrote a song with Curtis too. We just were sitting down and so with all those guys, we all write songs, and Kenny's got a song he wrote. It's called Kenny's Song so far. But yeah, I mean, we all get in there, you know. So it's not just me and my songs, but it's all those guys, and that's what makes it. And they're, I don't know, they're just such great people, so I got to talk about it a bit.
Yeah,
you know? Yeah.
And I'm wondering, when you have that collaboration, are you in the room together? Is it you work separately? Do you start together? Like, what is the process?
Sometimes I'll like send some, you know, if I send something off, I'll say, hey, this is kind of like half done or input. Then, you know, they'll come back at me like within that day or two and have stuff, you know, ready to go and work on. It's pretty cool.
And then do you get together as a group and then start to...
We have practice every week.
Sure.
We try to have it once a week. For this whole year, I think we've been shooting for that.
Nice.
Which is, so that's where we work it out.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if you could give us a little bit of an insight as to, like, how did you meet and how did the band actually form? I know I talked a little bit about it in the bio, but I'm wondering if you can delve a little more. How did you know everybody in the band, and how did that come to be? Ooh.
Well, I met Curtis like 10 years ago. We were looking for somebody to record with us, and he was willing to, and we just went right down to Wuso's, and he'd never played with us, and we just recorded. That was like, 10 years ago, and then I saw him again at the art show that I had at Wuso's, and so we reconnected there, and a bunch of us went back to his house and played some music, and from that point on, like after the art show, and then I met Ian through Mark Gartman. We both played Grateful Dead cover band with Mark, and so we knew each other from that. And then we all just kind of got together in the wintertime, and I knew Jacob because I've been watching Salty Dogs for a long time and drawing and getting back into it. I was just not ready to get back out into music, but I really liked to go see them. And so it was like a process of a year to get me to really back to want to play. And it was, So the community really inspires music, I think, in me now, and just what it means to get together and,
So you've talked, I mean, not only are you a talented musician, but you're an artist. And so I'm wondering if you could tell us a little bit about, like, what's your medium, like what do you do as an artist? And then my follow-up question to that would be, how does that influence your music? And does that influence, and does that go hand in hand? Is it two very separate entities?
Well, the art is like kind of stream of consciousness, like abstract, and based on just what I'm feeling And so it's similar with the songs, they're based on, what I've been going through, and so, yeah. They're just forms of expression that they do, and the album cover took a while. That was like a painting, the underpainting of that was like a painting I've been holding on to for years, and I knew it was for something, but I just didn't know what, and I'd just been like making all these paintings, trying to like, I don't know how many paintings are underneath the layers, but that's kind of like symbolic of, and then of finishing it up and creating that album cover was like kind of a nice conclusion to that.
Yeah. Outside of the album, do you include art in your shows at all? Or has that not happened, or?
Well, I do all the social media stuff and make posters and stuff.
Yeah, sure.
That's really where because then I'll be willing to give my time to that.
Yeah.
Because otherwise this music is kind of pretty much, it takes over a lot.
Sure.
But yeah, I do like to paint, like acrylic paint, and I'm going to be doing a mural at my friend's house
Nice.
this week, so that's really nice, yeah. It's nice to do both. I think they lend to each other. When you just as much creative energy as you can is good.
Mm-hmm. So I know that you have some performances coming up, and wondering if you want to talk a little bit about those, and even, if you could just let us know what's coming up.
Yeah, we've got Glensheen, which is on the 17th of July, which is going to be super fun. And then a few days later, we agreed to do the Centennial show at the zoo. So we'll be at the zoo. Not sure how the animals are going to feel about that, but I'm excited to do it. Hope they enjoy it.
Very cool. So I'm wondering what's next? What's the next? Are you starting to gear up? Like, obviously, I'm assuming you're still writing, and starting that process. Is another album in the works? Is there other things?
Oh yeah, like we've got 35 plus songs now, and we got to get more albums out. I think we'll probably do one this fall. I'm guessing. We definitely have enough, and I'll probably play bass on most of that.
Yeah. But I'm wondering with this process. So now moving forward, what did you learn from the recording process of this first album? Now, as you gear and going on and going to do some more recording, how do you? Same sort of situation, or is it going to be a different approach, or?
I'm not so sure. I really do like the live style recording we got. I mean, it only took us 3 days total for the recordings, and we got a lot done. And I just really like how it feels like a live show, but doesn't, go on too long. I mean, it's just a good blend, a good mix, and Rich Mattson is like, he's really good at what he does, so I'm guessing we'd go back there, definitely, for sure.
Yeah. Do you approach recording the same way you do live shows? Is it a little bit more structured? Do you have a session where you're like, we're just going to see what happens? Like, what is that process in terms of the evolution of the songwriting and the performance of it?
Well, you mean while we're recording it?
Yeah, like while you're recording.
We did about 4 or 5 takes on each one, and just picked the best one and then added on a few things to each one.
Sure.
And
I guess what I'm asking, is it like in the moment? Like, do you sit down and talk? I mean, obviously you have band practice and all of that, but do you intentionally go in and say, okay, this is our plan and this is how we're going to record? Or do you have room for flexibility and being moved in the moment? Is it fluid?
I think we'll have more of that in the next album.
Okay.
Yeah, because this first album, I definitely feel, getting strength and stronger in music and as I go. So it's just, definitely. We like to keep it really free. All of us, yeah. We don't have a rigid, structured routine for the things, and we have like an outline of the, the basic outline of the song, and then within those parameters, we just do whatever we want.
Yeah, the starting point, and then allow the creativity to happen.
Yeah, because that's super fun every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how now at the place, being through the first album and the success that you've had with Babie Eyes, how is that now influencing your songwriting, and how is that carrying it forward? Is it just moving in the same direction? Is it allowing you a little bit different perspective? How has that changed anything for you?
Not really. It seems to just happen that, songs will pop into my head when there's, probably, once or twice a month I'll get a new one, and it'll just be in my head, or, and it's the same. It's been consistent since I got back into it. And then switching over to the bass, though, it's definitely more funky. We're getting funky, and we're getting like jammier with me playing the bass. I mean, not like it's not funky when Ian plays the bass, but that's just the way those songs have been turning out.
So when you come up with an idea for a song, how long does it permeate? How long does it take that to then become, in your mind, a song? And is there ever a time where you come up with like a snippet of something and then decide, I'm going to wait and then come back to it? Or is it like this outburst of creativity? Does it take a while?
Like Slow and Steady, I wrote that 10 years ago, and I was playing it on guitar and just never, but then I got the bass in my hands and I just started, and then I brought that song back out, and it, worked well on the bass, so, yeah. Songwriting it's annoying you until you like give it attention, pretty much. It's just like, I'll get something in my head and then I'll just, but the more attention you give it, then, you can just, but it's pretty quick, especially with the band, because they're so talented, those guys, and so that you just give them something and they're just like, wizards. It's like, whoa. So, like, I played a couple songs that, I played one I wrote just last week on the bass, and so I can't wait to hear what that's like. I haven't even played that with the band yet, so I can't wait to hear what they have to say on the matter of the song.
So that was a new song.
It was a new, I wrote it while I was practicing for this. I was like, oh no, but I couldn't ignore it, so.
No, that's awesome. So the next time we hear it will be probably in a different form, in a different, in sort of the Babie Eyes collective interpretation, which will be, we'll look forward to that on the next album.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So let's see. How many more songs do you have for us?
One more, and then I'm out. Yeah. And
okay.
I think so. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, so.
Sure. So I just want to say thanks again to Heidi Feroe for appearing on the Live from the Heart Songwriters Storytellers Series. A big thank you to Eric Swanson for running the sound, and to Jose and Kim Leon of Two Harbors Media and crew for the video production tonight. Live from the Heart is brought to you by Sacred Heart Music Center with support from the Minnesota State Arts Board. You can go to www.sacredheartmusic.org to find out what's coming up next at the Music Center. Information is also available on the Sacred Heart Facebook and Instagram page. And I will let you do the introductions to your final song. And it's been awesome to talk to you, and really excited to hear you again.
Thank you again for having us, having me. I mean, representing Babie Eyes. It's a real pleasure to be here.
dripping with these jewels of joy, love and light beam from my eyes. What is this feeling? I'm alive, and I thank my lucky stars at night. Gratitude, that's my new attitude. If you're someone that seeks the truth, it's the answer for you. Gratitude, that's my new attitude. If you're someone that seeks the truth, it's the answer for you. Gliding on sunbeams, walking on air, how did I get from here to there? I opened up my heart to see beauty in the smallest thing. Each time that I have a doubt, I tell it no and cast it out. Gratitude, that's my new attitude. If you're someone that seeks the truth, it's the answer for you. Gratitude, that's my new attitude. If you're someone that speaks the truth, it's the answer for you. Maybe all this sounds naive, I know it did at first to me. If you put the effort in, you'll be thankful every day you did. Gratitude, that's my new attitude. If you're someone that seeks the truth, it's the answer for you. Gratitude, that's my new attitude. If you're someone that speaks the truth, it's the answer for you. Dripping with these jewels of joy, love and light beam from my eyes. What is this feeling? I'm alive, and I thank my lucky stars at night.
Thank you.